Hi, so it is the beginning of May, so it's time for ink drops. Let's see what came in the mail. Right, ooh, visually it looks good. I'm liking it already. Okay, so, oh, and I love it. Some of you that know me know that this is incredibly appropriate for me. Garden party. After a long winter, the flowers are finally in full bloom. We are delighted for this change and have selected a colorful palette to celebrate the natural beauty that coincides with the coming of spring. I'm very excited about this. Atramentis apple blossom, which is scented. Pelikan violet. Pilot Iroshizuku Tsutsuji, which is azalea. Platinum mix free in leaf green, and private reserve buttercup. Okay, I'm so excited for this because almost all of my days, all day long, are spent around plants. This is super exciting. Alright, so just do a quick lighting check. It actually looks pretty darn close to real life, just from what I'm seeing already. Pretty. Okay, so here is apple blossom, and it is looking true to what I see in real life on camera. And we'll do a smear test of this. Oh, I said I wasn't going to call it a smear test. Somebody told me to rethink that. So we'll just do a swatch. So apple blossom. Private reserve buttercup. I've talked to you before about like yellow, orangey kind of inks. You know how I feel about that if you've seen my other videos. The Iroshizuku. I will use the American version of azalea. Violet, which looks like a really pretty purple. Let me see. Nope, that's just a little too dark. There we go. There we go. Much better. Okay, and leaf green. Really pretty. Okay, let's see. Oh my goodness. This, I'm just gonna have to. I'm working on a lighting system. I have a friend of mine that is helping me out big time. Okay, every time I touch this light, just, okay. So, we'll try the Atramentis apple blossom, and I'm going to give it a sniff. Let's see. Interesting. Huh. So it definitely doesn't smell like, if you were thinking kind of like an apple fragrance, in the sense like if somebody said, oh, I have some apple scented lotion or apple scented soap. Definitely doesn't smell like that. I wonder if it does smell like an apple blossom. I'm not really sure what an apple blossom smells like, so I can't say, but it has a smell. I don't know if it's a good smell. It smells mildly floral, kind of like soap, floral soap. Interesting. So let's try it out. So I've got a different nib on here, one that's not so sharp, and I don't know how it's going to perform. Seems like I'm losing ink quickly. See, look at that. I'm just, you know, not an expert in the dip nibs, but it gives us an idea of some shading. So it looks like a nice, I'll hold it up for you after I do the little swatch. This nib might not have been the best choice. Okay, so let's take a look. Cap it for sure. Okay, so now I can't necessarily speak about feathering like that and all of that when I'm using a dip nib that's, you know, really old school style. So we can't hold, like, we can't judge the ink's properties based on this. This is more about color. And that's looking really true to the color that I have. It's sort of like a burgundy-ish, purplish color. It's very pretty. I like it. It's not what I would think of if I traditionally thought purple, but it's like a purpley burgundy color. Very nice. Pretty. Definitely usable. Definitely usable. There you can kind of, let's see. That looks like the color. This is ARC notebook paper, by the way. I really like the ARC notebook paper for fountain pen ink. It just works so nicely. So, clean off the nib. You know what? Let's try a different dip nib. My pen pal sent me this dip pen with several different nibs. Thank you so much. And so let's try them out because it's pretty easy to swap them. Now we're going to try Private Reserve Buttercup. Maybe this one will work better. Nope, it's not working a whole lot better. And the fact that it's yellow makes it really hard to see, I think. I know, because it's hard for me to see it in real life. It probably looks like nothing to you. So I know, you know, some people are artists or whatever. I just not a fan of the yellow inks. But I keep getting them in my ink drops. What's up with that? Yellow must be a popular color for people. So definitely going to switch out the nibs, but so you have to ignore the dark spot where the paper was, you know, coming apart because it was so saturated. But there it is. You know, it actually looks just a smidge darker on camera than it does in real life, which is kind of an interesting phenomena because this looks pretty much the same. So there's your Buttercup. But I would say out of yellows, it's one of the more, to me, I think of this as like a, that looks like a true yellow to me. Or like a gold, not quite a goldenrod, but something in between like a primary yellow and a goldenrod. So it's not super pastel-y. I mean, you can see it on the page, but I certainly don't see myself using it for any purpose. I'm going to switch nibs and we'll try something else. And let's go with the Platinum Mix Free Leaf Green. But I am liking the assortment so far. Platinum. Oh, and I'll go back and talk about shading here. Super sharp edges on these nibs, and so they're just kind of tearing the paper apart. So just to go back a little bit, the Apple Blossom definitely has a little bit of shading. I think you can see it on that T and on that M when the, you know, nib isn't completely saturated, and a little on that B. The Buttercup, I see very little shading. And the Platinum Mix Free, if you can see, it does have a little bit of shading in It's really hard to see. Oops. It's kind of faint. A little bit. It has, I wouldn't say anything really dramatic, but that's definitely a good representation of the color. How it's coming off on camera to me. Alright, let's try a different nib. Let's try this one. Okay. Now I'm going to try out the Pelikan Violet, which looks gorgeous. So I'm liking this. It's like 3 purpley inks and a green. I like green ink. The yellow is kind of, yeah, but you know. Let's try the Pelikan. Oh, this might have been totally the wrong nib to go with. It was totally the wrong nib to go with. This writing just barely doesn't look a whole lot like my own handwriting. I'm trying to adjust for these nibs. Alright. Oh wow. That looks really pretty when you shear it out like that. So when I wrote it, it's a very fine nib there, and so it's hard to see the color, but I think in a medium nib that would be fantastic. Let's see. The Pelikan Violet. There we go. Yeah, that's a pretty good representation. It's just a little bit lighter, I think, in person. Oh, I've found that purples are really hard for me to get a good, accurate color, but that's pretty close. It's just a little bit lighter, but very pretty. It's more vibrant in real life than it's coming off on camera. Very nice. Pretty. Very pretty. It just looks a little more blue here, and less pinkish, I guess. Oh, definitely I'm gonna switch out the nibs. I feel like this ink drop was made for me. I mean, even with the yellow. I'm liking it. Let's try this nib. Really, it's a crapshoot for me with these nibs. Okay. So, let's try this Azalea. This looks really pretty. Pilot. Well, this is the nib I should have been using. Iroshizuku. Tsutsuji. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but it's Azalea. So I'm really liking this. It's like a dark, hot pink. Oh, totally. Totally. Man, if I could get nail polish this color, I would love it. If anybody knows, let me know. Oh, that's really pretty. Wow. Good job, Goulet pens. Nice choices. Oh, that actually is a really nice representation of the color. That it's like a dark hot pink. Yeah. Very nice. And it's got some nice shading in it. The Pelikan Violet doesn't seem to have so much shading. So I would say a little bit. So the Apple Blossom, now that I'm looking at them all together, and really this is a beautiful ink drop collection. Again, Goulet pens, nice job. So the Apple Blossom looks like a dusty mauve. Now that I'm looking at all of them together, this looks more of a dusty mauve, with a little bit of shading that's lighter pink, like a dustier pink. The Buttercup is a rich yellow color. I'm looking at it, it's reminding me of baby chicks. The leaf green is just a nice bright true green. The violet is it's more vibrant. Actually, both of these are more vibrant than they're coming across on the page. Maybe that helps a little bit. but just a nice bright purple and a really nice bright hot pink. That's really pretty. In fact, either of those would look fantastic in my Boquito. This looks very close to just the color of my Boquito, but I'm liking that hot pink. So, this is May 2014 ink drops with the theme of garden party. So I hope that you found that useful, and I hope you're having a really beautiful day and that you're enjoying the flowers in your garden. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.